I guess, how did you guys get together? How did you guys meet?
We started meeting at conferences, I guess, at Phi Alpha Theta conferences locally, and then we've both been very involved in the Western History Association and the Coalition for Women's Western History. And so that's how we kind of got to know each other. Mm-hmm. And then had talked about, when we would meet up at conferences, we would talk about things that bothered us in Oklahoma history in terms of books that you could assign or where the focus was, or projects that we really thought should be done on Oklahoma history and that were not being done. And so we would collaborate in just through discussion at that point and talking about possibilities.
Yeah. And then you came together and were like, hey, let's do some work. Let's see what we can come up with.
We've been working on some projects, and so one is coming out in July of 2021 called This Land is Her Land, on gendered activism in Oklahoma from the 1870s to the 2010s.
Yes.
And so it spans time, and we have 13 contributors with subjects ranging from Rachel Caroline Eaton and the Cherokee Female Seminary, all the way to LaDonna Harris and Mary Fallon in the 2010s and beyond. So.
Yeah, we're very excited. We brought together, so ourselves included, there are 13 female scholars of Oklahoma history writing about 13 different women.
Yeah.
And we thought it would be interesting because we're all at different stages in our careers, and we like the idea of really expanding support for scholars at different levels of their careers, and then looking broadly at women. Politics can become a taboo in polite society, I suppose, and certainly notions of activism. But the way we approach the project is to look at women who tried to affect change. And so that's how you can have a book that covers somebody like Clara Luper, but also someone like Mary Fallon. And that's really what we were trying to do, is to look at the experience of African American women, Native American women, and white women, and sort of the roles that they've played in different periods of Oklahoma history in trying to affect change. And Oklahoma is this crazy place in many ways. Our first section is really on the fluidity of power and looking at these different ways that women engaged in power and sought to affect change in a society where things were fluid enough that you have moments of opportunity. They don't always last, and so this isn't kind of a project on boosterism. It's not, this is how we got to be the great state we are today, but it is looking at these lived experiences that women had and how they tried to contribute to society around them.